The world of Vermont and Long Trail School is a far remove, geographically at least, from the town on the western edge of the island of Sumatra, part of the island chain that makes up the country of Indonesia. But that's where one student, Sheza, traveled from last year to become an exchange student to spend her final year in secondary school before going on to college, winding up at Long Trail School in Dorset. Wanting to try to learn cross-country skiing was one goal. There were others. Her host parent is Kim Rizzio, a member of the Long Trail School faculty and the chair of the school's English department. We talked with both of them to learn about what the experience has been like for each of them.
So I live in Sumatra, and it's the most west part of Sumatra, which is called Aceh. And the city where I live is the capital of Aceh, which is called Banda Aceh. And then in Banda Aceh, we have a lot of oceans, and from my house, the beach is only like 25 minutes away. So it's interesting. Usually my family and I will go to the beach like almost every weekend to go to see sunset or just to have dinner and stuff. But I have uncle. He was an exchange student when he was in college, and he traveled a lot. I met him when I was in kindergarten. And his house was amazing with all of the stuffs from other countries, and I just found it interesting. I really want to have ornaments from different countries, and I asked him how can I go abroad, and he was like, there will be an exchange program for you when you are in high school. So I have this exchange program ambition since I was in kindergarten, because my parents couldn't afford for me to go abroad with their own money. So I have to find a way to go somewhere free, and I can get so many experiences. So I tried my best. I prepared from a very long time, because to be an exchange student is not easy. The selection is long, and we have to have a competition with other wonderful people. So I participated in so many competitions, and I got the certificate, and that's how I know the exchange program.
So before Sheza ever came to the United States, she knew she was coming to my house. I was expecting her. Last summer, I connected with Kimberly Eckhart, who is the local agent for this program. And she offered me a variety of applicants. They submit forms that explain what they're interested in, why they want to come to the United States, who they are, all those kinds of things. And I chose Sheza's application as one that I was really interested in. I thought among many aspects of her application, the fact that she wanted to learn how to cross-country ski was interesting, given that she was from Indonesia and had never seen snow. And so that intrigued me, and we connected through social media. We had phone calls, and she accepted our invitation to come and be at Long Trail and be in my home. And so before she flew to the United States, she knew she was coming here. It is my first time being a host parent for the full school year. I have done a lot of exchanges, not only as a high schooler myself, but here through Long Trail. I have hosted students, I've hosted teachers, but those trips were for a month, maybe a little less than a month. But as a true school year host parent, yes, this is my first time. Sure. Yeah, it's been great. We've done a lot of cooking together, so she's learned about cooking American recipes, and I've learned about cooking some really gorgeous and really tasty Indonesian recipes. We've shared all kinds of cultural things, as you can imagine. It's great having a partner riding to school with me in the morning and figuring out our afternoons, just trying to blend our lives.
So, how have you found the way education operates here compared to back home? Is it kind of the same kind of structure,
It's
or
so different, like so different. Like the most simplest thing is here you guys move classes. In every different class you will go to the teacher's room, but back home the teachers will come to our class. Like every subject will so we will not move, we will just stay in the one class every day, and the teachers will come to our class. And the system itself, it's totally different. In Indonesia we will just study, like after we study, the teacher will just give us a question and we'll just answer it. But here I found that how to make student understand is to write a paper, which is hard for me at first because I was not used to write paper every day. But I found it useful for me because I can understand the lesson more, and I can know what I am doing, not only reading and answering the question. And I also found here that teacher appreciates student more, whatever the student did. It's also different from Indonesia. And in Indonesia, teachers also give student opportunity, but not as what the long trail teachers give. Maybe it's different in every school, but I found long trail teachers really want to give all of the students opportunities. So that's what very different about the education system.
As you can imagine, the pandemic certainly made the international student landscape very challenging. And so as we graduated, four of them out last year, we ended up having two come through the State Department program this year to Long Trail. Everything here really is about global education. So whether you're a middle schooler and learning about the world, or a 9th or 10th grader, pre-IB, or in the IB program, having someone here who is not from the United States, not from Vermont, is always enriching. Sheza happens to be in the IB program, as does the other student who is visiting us this year. But that's something that is arranged through the academic dean. I'm not sure that I can enumerate all of the great reasons to have an international student here, but some of the things that I can think of is a shared joy. There's a lot of fun to be had in both their exposing someone else to a new tradition or a new idea or an insight with a different perspective. But there's also joy for those of us who live here in sharing the beauty and fun of the place that we live in. Sometimes those moments of joy are really unexpected, in that you might be doing something that is habitual for a Vermonter, and not really be cognizant of the fact that for someone else it's completely new. And so we've had a lot of those moments. I know that we've talked a lot about cleanliness and freshness, but from the smell of the air to the water to the food, I think that she has really appreciated the rural aspect of her stay, even though it might not always be as exciting as a city. It certainly has been a great opportunity for her to enjoy that fresh appeal of Vermont.
What's kind of like been the let me say maybe the hardest thing to adjust to?
The food. Yeah. In Indonesia, we eat rice 3 times in a day. And then sandwiches, pizzas, burgers. It's just our snack in Indonesia. So we will eat sandwich before we eat rice. So rice is our main meal. And then sandwich, burgers, pizza is just our snacks. So I had a very hard time at first to adjust with the food. And then in Indonesia, the foods are... We use a lot of spices to cook, and the food are spicy. We have a lot of chili, and it's so different here. But I like it. I found it weird, like why people were eating sandwiches like 3 times in a day, like yeah. But I got used to it and I like it. In Indonesia, people say that you are not eating a meal, you are not eating if you're not eating rice. So my family was laughing at first when I said that I eat sandwich for my lunch. It was funny, but this is my 8 months here, so I got used to it, and now I like the sandwiches because there are so many types, so many kinds of them. I like the burgers, so yeah.
I imagine the weather must be a lot different too.
Yes, yeah, yes.
You probably have a winter. You don't have a winter season.
We don't have winter. We don't have fall. We don't have spring. We only have 2 seasons. Hot and very hot. I'm joking. We have hot and raining season, but even though if it's raining, it will still be hot, and it's humid there. The temperature can be like 80s to 90s, and it will stay the whole year. And then I also did a couple presentations in this school about my country, about Indonesian culture, about Indonesian holidays, what food do we eat in Indonesia, and also I've done some presentation in the local elementary schools like Red Fox Community School, and then the school in Manchester.
Maple Street?
Yeah, Maple Street School, and the Meadowy School. I've done a couple of presentations there, and the kids are so excited. I was not expecting that. I thought that my presentation will be boring because it's an elementary students. I don't think that they'll be excited about things like that, but they were excited. I gave them a small gift from Indonesia. I gave them a candy from Indonesia, and they were excited to see the flora and fauna, to see that Indonesia has a Komodo dragon, and they were like, is there still dragon in this world? So yeah, I was so glad that people here enjoyed about my presentation about my country. So yeah.
She has done presentations and programs at Maple Street, because I think she enjoyed that, teaching younger students. I think she has learned a lot. Her skills in English, of course, have grown really, really well. And I've seen her leadership come a long way with her confidence. And so I think that would be the only thing. She did learn how to cross-country ski.
This season in spring, I joined the Frisbee, Ultimate Frisbee. I've never touched a Frisbee disc before. I didn't even know if there is a sport called Frisbee. I know it's funny, but I tried Frisbee this season and it went so good. I was nervous that I won't be able to throw the Frisbee and I won't be able to play in a team, but I figured it out. And during the winter, I played rock climbing, and I've never rock climbed before. I started like in a very basic way and I did it. I know. So we have 5 competitions last season, and I saw my scores in every competition, and it always increased, and I'm so happy about that.
Sheza will be headed on to college next year, but presumably the experiences of her year at Long Trail will be one of those formative experiences that will last a lifetime. For the GNAT-TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.